And 5-star James, I don't care what stars they give you. You're 5-star. You've been a 5-star, which is much harder. Listen, man, University of Miami fans want to know one thing. Does University of Miami have a chance to get James Williams?
Definitely, they do have a chance.
Welcome to South Florida. Yeah. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida.
When you on the field, is it pregame? Like, is it ever? Are you ever afraid? Does you ever feel fear, or do you ever feel pressure?
Nervous.
You ever feel pressure?
Not one bit.
None of that.
No.
Who's been your tough defender? Like, who's guarded you the tough?
Yeah, who's the toughest person to play?
I don't see nobody.
I knew this.
Nobody.
Man, he was gonna give it the damn hood.
That's what I'm for. I'm a playmaker. I love receiving. I love to catch the ball. I love to go over people's head.
Yeah.
You know, so I just got to do what I do.
University of Miami, they land you, and then they land the number one. We call him football player, number one player in the nation, James Williams.
Yeah.
Both playing the same position, right? How do you envision that working? Are they telling you how this gonna work, or?
Well, I feel like me and James two different safeties.
Uh huh.
And I'm more of the ball hogging safety. He's more of the rangy playing, like you couldn't say like in the box, but like a striker position, strong safety.
Right.
And I'm more of the free safety. So I already know in practice that's gonna just build great competition. And when the game comes, it's gonna be easy.
That's what's
Because
up.
I know we go hand in hand because it's like we're the same person.
Right.
So he has like his strengths and weaknesses, and I have my strengths and weaknesses. And we're gonna he can feed off of me, learn how to, I guess, be more of the free safety, and then I can learn off of him, be more of like a closer to the box safety.
Right.
So I feel like we just gonna make each other better.
Yeah, James played free safety. He wanted to play free safety. He was big on that. But James don't never be back at free safety. James be close to the line, the linebacker sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But that's
just him helping his team win.
That's his chess. Yeah, that's him playing chess with the team. I told him, kid. I covered James since he was that big, bro. I've known him all his life.
I just feel like every time it's just man on man. If he wins the battle, then there goes the play. He doesn't break on the run, or if this person like doesn't take that step, or certain things. It just, I feel like you beat your man every play, you got the best chance to stop any team, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5-star. Lean loyalty. 6'12", 276 pounds.
Yeah. After that, I just started going crazy. Tackles after tackle.
Yeah, the first play was like a tackle for loss, like 6.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't touch you, like.
Yeah, like they did.
Explain to me, dog. Like, what is that about? Like, how do they not? You 6'5", 300 pounds. Is it something? Is it a swim move? Is something you do? Like, they don't see you? You're teleporting? What's going on?
I'm too fast for long.
They don't realize you that fast when the game starts. Like,
I'm gonna be the best player on the field. Like, I just gotta show the world. Like, I'm the true 50. I'm the next 56 up. The next. I'm gonna just go crazy this year. Like, show people like, wow, at 56. Like, show them like I want to take care of my mom. I want to put in a big house, stupid cars, big pool in the backyard. Put on for my brothers, my nieces and nephews, like coaches. I think all of them boys for like having me here at this like position that I'm in now, cause like it took hard work and dedication. Without all of them to guide me in the right path, I wouldn't be here today. So I think all of them for like helping me out. Like, yeah.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking days, and that's what?
Big time players step up in big game. All the criticize and all that, it's over, baby. Big time players step up in big game.
What's going on, bro? What's going on? What's going on? I'm D. And we're about to talk about everything from Bitcoin to ball. Got a couple people gonna jump in here with me. That was the intro. Today we're gonna talk about something different, but before we get started with that, what we're gonna get into 786-405-9499, 786-405-9499. If you want to get down with IOD Squad, 786-405-9499. The number scrolling at the bottom. And at some point in time, I'm going to pin it to the top of the comment section in here. So you can click on that. Market took a dump today. We were just talking about crypto crashing and when you're supposed to invest in it, huh? Well, it's about to give you an opportunity to invest in it again. Because it went straight backwards today. Bitcoin went from 20, I think it got up to 22.7 or something like that, and went right back down to 2020. Pretty bad. But today we're going to talk about a little bit about Geno, a lot of it about the Canes. We got to touch on Geno, man. Geno had a decent game last night. Decent game. I mean, he did his thing. I mean, they put him on Monday night versus Russel Wilson. I don't know. They was trying to feed him to the wolves. I'm gonna bring my boy Rich in here. I'm gonna bring Kim in here. Kim, what's going on, bro? Rich, what's up?
What's up?
Streeter, how you doing?
What's going on, bro? I realized that once I turned the TV on last night that it was Geno versus Russel Wilson. It didn't really cross my mind before. And I told you I spoke with Geno's dad a couple of weeks ago. He said he had two rookie tackles. Two rookie tackles. He had DK Metcalf, and he got his other wide receiver who he went viral for. He went viral today for. Geno can't get a break, bro. Okay. He had a decent game last night, but then went viral for rubbing on his wide receiver behind. Did you see that, Kim?
See, this is why.
Geno can't get a break. Huh?
I mean, this is why men need to just dap or give a good old-fashioned handshake. Just keep it old school. Come on. He did get a handful. I'm not gonna lie to you. He got a handful.
I'm hoping that's how the picture looked. But some people are saying, man, I was watching that in real time, and I was like, what's going on?
Maybe he misses going underneath center. I don't know. Just saying.
I don't know what that's about. I guess in the moment, man. You dap somebody up, man. You're not thinking, man. I don't know. I don't know how that happens, bro. But I think he could do for like 189. It looked better than the actual numbers were, man. I think he was 17 for 18 in the first half for like 164. I thought he was finna throw for 350. What's significant about Geno Smith? I mean, Geno Smith is from Miami, bro. Miami Gardens. He's right here from Miami Gardens. He played for Miramar. Went to West Virginia, had a great season there. He's one of the better pure passing quarterbacks we've seen come out of South Florida. And then he's been in the league forever. But just can't get a break. Like it's like I ain't gonna say he can't get a break. He started numerous times for different teams, maybe 2 or 3 times, but it just never took off for him. I think he started for the Jets. I think he got the same locker room he had got into the fight with the Jets. But to put him up against Russel Wilson last night at Seattle, I think that was a great start for him, bro. Great start for him.
I agree. Did you watch it, Rich? So I did, and the one thing I would say is this: Geno, all things considered, when you look at journeyman quarterbacks, Geno did have a chance, with the Jets in order to, get that second-year contract that every quarterback and every NFL player covets, getting that big second contract, and he didn't, and it's not because he did anything, to be honest. I mean, it's because he was playing for the Jets. So, I mean, had he been playing for another team, sorry to say it that way, but it is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. And then he goes over to Seattle, and to be honest, if you were a journeyman quarterback, I mean, he's had a long tenure in Seattle, which means he's been getting paid from the day he stepped in Seattle till now. So I would say from a payment perspective, you couldn't think of a better, a second best scenario where you stay with one team, you have tenure, and as these changes happen, like with Russell Wilson going to Denver, you get the opportunity to stunt on your old ex-teammate / starter, Russell Wilson, by looking like you had a better command of the offense than he ever did during that first half. So once again, I don't think he's gonna get like a major contract because of what he does this season at all. But I would say that he's still in a much better position than a lot of backup quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
Rich, it's interesting you say that. If you look at guys like Fitzmagic, Chase Daniels, Charlie Batch, you could stick around and make tens of millions holding a clipboard and wearing a ball cap. If you just are a good teammate, you do all the right things. I love what he said after the game. Look, he's solid. He's a really good backup. There's not that many of these jobs left. Most teams only keep 2 quarterbacks. They don't keep 3. So there's generally about, 65 to 70 of those jobs left where you could say, I'm an NFL quarterback. And look, he actually has some weapons. If you look at Seattle, they have a good running back in Rashard Penny. He's productive when healthy. I like our 2 former Hurricanes. They're doing a great job on special teams. They get a little spot duty offensively. You have DK Metcalf, who can be TO 2.0. You get Lockett, who's a really good receiver. He can actually make some numbers this year. He could do it, but let's be honest. Seattle's probably in a situation at a certain time. They're going to go full tank mode as they position themselves for CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young or a TVD. But again, if Geno handles this the right way, and he still looks like he's got some gas in that tank, he can make a lot of money for a long time in the league.
Yeah, and that's something I didn't think about. Do you win? Do you actually go above 500 when you got CJ Stroud and Bryce Young coming out?
Ooh. That's a tough one.
This is Bryce, what, 3rd year?
Yeah, he's eligible to come out 3 years from high school.
Yeah. And CJ Stroud.
It's his 3rd year too. He was a sophomore last year.
Right. That's funny you say that, Kim, about full tank mode, because that is the conversation that I had with his dad. That is the exact conversation I had with his dad. His dad's been a long time coach of South Florida Express. And I was like, I understand how these things work now, man. They're handing the ball to Geno, a journeyman. I say, bro, what's wrong with the team? Because I understand how it works sometimes. Like some black coaches, they hand them a team, and the team, they pay them to fail. We've seen it. It done came out.
Right.
And he said, he looked at me, and he said, he got 2 rookie tackles. I said, my God.
Yeah.
I said, my God. But he said he got DK, and he got the guy he squeezes booty. What's the guy name where he squeezes booty, man? He got his wide receivers, but he just was like, but those guys held up last night for the most part. They got beat a few times. But I asked him, I was like, so how does he take it? Like, and he's like, man, he's a kid. He's a competitor, bro. Like, he goes out there and he competes. He believes. I mean, he still has that testosterone that we don't have anymore. And you know what I'm saying? And that's what he knows. He knows how to compete. And last night, man, looked damn good. I thought I was going to turn the TV on and watch a massacre, a funeral or something. But no, man, he looked damn good last night. 164 in the first half, and then he ended up like 189.
Seattle. It's interesting with Seattle. I did not know Michael Jackson was on Seattle. I'm glad he hooked up somewhere. He's bounced around a little bit. Looks like he's found a home there. Then you got obviously Homer and Dallas, who become special team demons out there in Seattle. So And now Clint Hurt, old guy from the 90s, is a defensive coordinator. He's making some waves. So a lot of Kane connections up. Yes, Clint Hurt is their defensive coordinator.
He's a defensive coordinator?
Yes, he's moving on up like the Jeffersons.
Wow. That's whoa. But last night that was a decent game, bro. That little back and forth between Pat Surtain and DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf was so big.
That was I was watching that the whole night, and they was going back and forth.
Yeah, they were. Pat Surtain wasn't backing down. DJ Metcalf was carrying him on his back throughout the game. He's like a little kid at a concert or something. No, he's so big, but Pat Surtain held his own, man. He held his own.
He did.
That was an interesting game last night. But my God, DJ Dallas, bro. Where's DJ Dallas? Like, what was he sent from? Football heaven? Where did they raise him at, bro? This man is the kickoff returner. He's the first person down on the punt. He's knocked the hell out of somebody in the game. Like, this dude is just he's in my comments every week in Instagram, commenting on stuff. Like, he's just everywhere, dog. Like, the man is.
He really is. Him and what was really just a beautiful sight to see if you're a Kane fan is DJ Dallas making a tackle on special teams, and then the person who was right behind him was Travis Homer.
Yeah, they take pride in their special. They take pride in playing special teams. They really do. Yeah, he was.
Streeter,
what's up?
If you're a backup running back or a defensive back, you can make a living if you're willing to play special teams, and not everyone is. You got to be a kamikaze. You got to have a screw loose, and you got to be extra tough because you're literally running down the field at full speed, and you know you're going to run into somebody bracing for you. And that's the thing about DJ. I always thought he was a complete football player because remember, played a lot of quarterback in high school. He actually, his first real big play at Miami was as a slot receiver against North Carolina. Bit like a 50-yard gain inside the 5 in what was a tight game. And then he became our running back and our wildcat guy. And I always thought he'd be a guy that could craft a career because he can play special teams. Just on that. Right. There have been guys throughout the history of football. They never start, but for 10 years, they're special teams guy, and they make some good money at that.
Yeah.
No, that's so true. And it's his attitude too, because you say that, right? Do you guys remember? Do you remember Buster Davis, linebacker for Florida State? Y'all remember Buster Davis?
Short little guy, yes.
Okay, fine. For short little guys, that's great. Buster Davis was the boyfriend of my first kid's mother, and she was a short little girl. She was like 4'8", 4'6". Buster Davis, they met in Tallahassee, and Buster Davis, when he went to the Colts, basically, he couldn't get on the field right away, and he basically told him, I'm not playing special teams. Yeah, and that's a lot of those guys' attitude because they've been so good for so long.
Right.
And I think he got into it with Peyton Manning, and I just think that was his downfall. His downfall was his attitude. He was such a prideful a-hole and he wasn't going to take anything in those roles. He always looked at it from that lens of y'all try me. But I think these kids don't get to the point where they're looking at it like this is my bread and butter.
Yeah,
I didn't learn anything else.
Do you guys remember a linebacker we had about 15 years ago? He only played really 1 year as a starter. Available. You have to, keep this in mind. In the NFL, you have a 53-man roster, which means there's going to be certain guys that if they're not starting, you better be able to do two things. Number one, be versatile, and number two, be willing to play the teams. Do everything that no one else wants to do. And you know what? It still works working in a cubicle for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, but Kim, I think I know what it is. It's just the fact that they're thinking in a tube. They're like thinking tunnel vision. I'm this, I'm that. It's emotional. Like, and it doesn't dawn on them that, hey, that was the job I applied for the last 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it's gone, now what? And I think he hit some of them too late because they don't realize it.
That's a good way to put it too, Street.
Talk to me.
No, when you said that's the job they was applying for the past 13 years, if you've been playing since you were, 7, 8 years old, why, if they tell you you're gonna be the Gatorade cooler guy, I mean that's what you got to do. It is what it is. So if they paying you $1 million a year to do it, why not?
Yeah, dog. It just don't dawn. It doesn't dawn on them a lot of times until it's too late. It's let somebody else get into their ear or something. IMG had a small cornerback, man, maybe 5 years ago. I'm looking at the video. I'm looking at his face right now. Brandon Ratley Howes. Ratley, did y'all remember him?
Yeah. No, I don't.
Brandon, he was from California, actually, Kim. He was from California. He played at IMG. He had the long wavy hair. He had like 3 other brothers that were really good too out of California. And he ended up going to Oklahoma. And he played cornerback. He was a dog. He just wasn't big enough, right? At Oklahoma, I remember watching Baylor quarterback run him over, bro. Like in a conference game. And then he went to Washington. Went to Washington, did his thing, but he always had a lot of heart. I was talking to Under the Radar the other day, and I was like, "Oh, where's Brandon Ratley? I think his name is Brandon Ratley Howes, or I forget how you say his name." He said, "Street, he in the league." I said, "What do you mean he's in the league? He wasn't even big enough." He said, "Bro, he has made his way at special teams, and I could see a guy. He's DJ Dallas. I could see a guy like him killing people on special teams. He's small." But he just was a dog. Yeah, and he's in the league.
And
Cornell was like that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would even say
Cornell's still in the league?
Yeah, he's bouncing around. Look, Cornell always have an issue because of his size, and he may be more of a slot corner. But look, he will do all those other things, though. I mean, it is not glamorous on punt and kickoff returns, especially if you're not getting the ball. So you better have some guys that raise their hand and say, "Okay, I'll be a kamikaze. I'll take years off my life on the back end." Really, that's the job.
Right.
If you want to stay in the league, that's what. Hey, as an old guy told me one time, the world needs ditch diggers too.
The world needs ditch diggers too. I heard that. Well, here's our guy, DJ Dallas, last night, man. This man is just amazing, dog.
Washington gets popped at the 4, maybe the 5. Washington special teams and how impactful they can be and have been.
Ooh. He just loves playing football, man. He's just a football player, man. He just loves playing the game, bro.
And he put on that weight again too. I see.
Who, DJ?
Yeah.
He's a little bigger, right?
Yeah, and that's the difference between him and Ratley Howes. DJ kind of has that body type where he could put on weight like that. I don't think Ratley Howes could put on the type of weight that DJ
yeah, he
can.
was little. Like he had one of them little small frames. That Bookie was his nickname. That's why we can't never remember his name, because everybody called him Bookie. Bookie was his nickname. I think he's at the Bengals now. I'm looking at this right now. He was 5'9", 180 pounds, dog.
Yeah, he's small. DJ's probably like 215.
5'9", 180 pounds, but he just was a dog. He was just a dog, and come from a long line of football players. And yeah, I mean, he made it on somebody practice squad. So, man, shout out there, man. Shout out to Geno Smith, man, for doing his thing last night, man. I thought he was going to throw for about 300, but it ended up at – I don't even know how he threw for 189 after having 164 in the first half. What the hell happened in the second half? Jerry Jeudy did his thing last night, another South Florida. Man, was South Florida guys running all around the field last night, man. I had Mike Jackson. Mike Jackson was being really physical last night. Was Mike Jackson good for us?
He was his junior year.
Yep.
That magical 2017. He was a kid out of Alabama, actually. I remember he was kind of like a high three-star. And there was a lot of debate whether he even should have been offered. And I remember the guy that runs Kane's Insight, his name is Danny Money. He really knows his football. He's one of the few guys that he said, Steve, that guy can play. Because, you know, he gets practice access. He knows what he's looking at. I said, Steve, watch Mike Jackson because I actually think he's going to be a player. And in 2017, he was a really, really good player. And I think that's one of the best jobs Mike Rump did as a cornerback coach. And in 2018, wasn't quite as good. And I think he was a 5th or 6th round draft choice by Dallas. And from that point on, he's kind of bounced around the league. But I think he found a home in Seattle.
Yeah, he looked good last night. He covered a fumble, had a couple hits. Somebody said, "Did you see the fixed call for Alabama on Bryce Young's safety?" That was fixed.
Which one? There's like 5 of them.
What do you mean?
I mean,
they kept catching them in the end zone.
I mean, no. The end zone call was the most obvious, but also on Bryce Young's scramble late in the game, the right tackle was holding. They also missed a blatant face mask call when Texas had the ball in the red zone. I can honestly tell you, Bama looks vulnerable, guys. I know it's easy to overreact, but as I'm watching that game, 2 things came to mind. They do not have a Devontae Smith or a Ruggs or a Waddle. They are really not that dynamic for the first time in years outside. And the other thing is their offensive line guys, they had to go to the portal to actually patch some holes. And Sean King, not that one, but the quarterback that played for Tulane in the Bucks, he flat out said after week 1, I don't like this offensive line. And Sean has a really good eye. That's a really good follow. I actually know Sean, but he actually said that offensive line is going to be an issue. And guys, it was. It did not look the same without Evan Neal.
No. I got a call from Warren Sapp today. Warren Sapp was actually at the game. Yeah, Warren Sapp was at the game, and he was just like, he just talked about if you were to stay in the game, Bama's done. He said Texas just was out coaching. They had a game plan, and Saban couldn't. They had a game plan. They had Saban number, and he didn't have an answer for it. But he said once Bryce got that ball at the end of the game, that was it. I mean, I don't know. I would never go prevent on a guy like Bryce. He just have to beat me, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like walking him to the end zone.
Hey, Street or Rich, if Quinn Ewers doesn't get hurt, I get the sense Texas wins that game by 10 to 14 points. That's the sense that I got.
I agree.
You watched it live, Steve?
Yeah, I watched. Well, look, what I usually do is, obviously, I don't care if Miami's playing ITT, DeVry, or East LA Junior College. They are always going to be on the big screen. But then I have 2 laptops, so you can just punch it up. So I was watching like 3 games, and I was watching on Fox Sports the Alabama-Texas game. And, guys, I thought for 3.5 quarters Texas was the better team. I don't think it was even a fluke.
When did Texas become good? What happened? What happened?
Well, they have some players, though. Look, Xavier Worthy is an NFL wide receiver. Bijan Robinson
Wow.
But the one thing I'll say is we are very similar to Texas in the fact that Texas always recruits top flight talent because they're the premier university within the state of Texas. It's them versus Texas A&M. Typically for a recruit who wants to stay home. So we are kind of in the same boat where we have all these 4-star guys on our roster. It's just the matter of getting the coaching in there to ignite a fire under them and have them do what they got to do. So very similar in terms of the makeup of the 2 programs.
Yeah, but the issue is now, Rich, short term, they're out of quarterbacks. Ewers is done for about 4 to 6 weeks, and Hudson Card, I think, is banged up.
Yeah.
It's hard to win with third-string quarterbacks, guys. I don't care who you are. That's a very difficult thing to do over the long term.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that because that next step into becoming an elite program is depth.
Yeah.
If you don't have quarterback got hurt against Alabama.
He was really hobbling at the end. Yeah, he was hobbling. So he's banged up.
You don't play it. No, Alabama hurts everybody quarterback in the first game. Hurt Florida State quarterback. They ended tattoo career with us. Bro, listen. They done took 2 of Texas quarterbacks out. It's like suicide.
If you don't have a good O-line, I mean, you're in trouble. And they do get away with a lot too.
Dallas Turner, they say, knocked out yours.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First quarter. They did. And you know what? And the frustrating thing for Texas is they had about 3 or 4 red zone drives where they only got a field goal. They missed a chip shot at the end of the first half. I'm just telling you, they're going to review that game. That's going to haunt them forever. It really is, because they had them on the ropes.
That's wild. 20-point favorite, man. I had my betting guy tell me that Vegas don't make mistakes like that. A 20-point favorite. I think it's last year. I don't know if you was listening to us, Kim, last year before we played them. And I was saying that, listen, if we finna force Bryce Young to throw this ball, it's over for us. And I said it, and I said it, and I said it. I even got my guys from Under the Radar to come on here and tell everybody, because they covered him since he was like 10. How cool he is in pressure situations, and how he's just amazing. Like I asked him, how did Matter Day beat St. Francis that night, and their answer is him. Like it's him. And I was saying that if we're going to try to force them to pass, it's over. He's not going to lose the game for them. I want to make another prediction. Something's going on in college football, bro. I saw a video today with the guy from Texas A&M driving the car. You saw it, Rich?
Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it, Kim?
Yeah, their cornerback showing that great catch-up speed.
He's talking about. I have it here somewhere. And he was saying, I just put something on. I just put some horses in my car, and he's riding around the garage, showing off the speed of his car. All it takes somebody to walk out in front of the car, and they're dead. But money in college football, all these kids can't deal with the money. Some of them going to develop betting habits. Some of them going to the broke kids was getting in the hole with the bookie. Now they got money. I think there's a lot of distractions in college footballs, man. And if you don't have a tyrant, you don't have a tyrant or a dictator, because Mario basically told me, man, they can't even say NIL in the locker room. They can't say NIL, INL, LIN. They can't say nothing like that in the locker room. They can't even talk about it.
I mean, you saw Dion yelling at his players for being on the phone during halftime.
Right. But Dion has kind of created that atmosphere, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Well, it's just like Jimmy Johnson. It's you only do what I allow you to do. So if you acting crazy or you doing something that you're not supposed to, it's because I allowed you to do it.
Uh-huh.
So if I didn't tell you to do it, then you need to be in line doing what you're supposed to do.
I read the ESPN story today on Tyler Van Dyke, how basically at the start of training camp, he shut down his Twitter. I love that.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. It's in the story. And I don't follow him. I don't really follow any of our players, but I like that. I mean, if you actually look at Alabama, Clemson, and I think Ohio State, at the start of fall camp, their coaches say you're off Twitter, you're off social media. And I remember last year, a lot of our own fans, oh, come on, it's 2000. Like, guys, you want to win or not? Bottom line, right. Our fans started making excuses as if somehow discipline and focus were a bad thing. And my view is this. If you can't give that up, I don't think you're a Mario Cristobal type of guy. I really don't. And I don't want to hear that it's 2022. So what? The same principles that worked in 1955 and 60 with Vince Lombardi that worked with Jimmy Johnson are going to work 50 years from now. There are certain things that never change.
Right. Really odd. When I asked Tyler Van Dyke that question last week, and I was like, "Hey, in a city like Miami, how do you stay focused?" And he went to social media. He started talking about social media. And I was trying to understand, like, how did that correlation? Like, I said the city. And he started talking about staying off social media, yada, yada, yada. I guess it's a distraction. It could be a distraction if you can't manage it. It's no different than any other distraction.
Strader, we talked about this on Saturday. I mean, it became a story when Avante Williams scrubbed all his Miami stuff off.
Right.
So, I mean, here's a kid that didn't even post. He just, anything orange and green with the U, that became like Stalin. Oh, we're going to erase that history. And I'm thinking, oh, God. And here's the thing. I would not have reported on it unless he actually quit the team. And to be fair, Avante's a young kid, got a little emotional. I think compared to him saying, F you, coaching staff, I'm out of here, it's not a bad thing. I actually wish they wouldn't have reported it because I think it put everyone in a tough spot. And look, he's still on the team. But that's the time and place that we are living in now. People monitor this thing that if you delete 3 pictures of you out there at Green Tree, oh, you're hit the transfer portal. You know?
Right.
Yeah, man. Don't show you got a guy like T2Y. Don't show him nothing, boy. T2Y gonna pick it up and run with it. Listen, don't show him nothing. Don't show him nothing. But I think Euro, one of those 305 sports guys, was the first person that tweeted it out. Shout out to Kim. Kim brought it to my attention. I was walking out the stadium from the press conference. And then I gave it to the members. I put it in the football villain, the member section. I didn't really think anything of it, but you should have saw Mario's face yesterday. Well, I guess y'all saw the press conference by now. He was like, we ain't doing that. And I know that I listen, he was like, we ain't doing that. I could tell the way he said it. He brought Tay in there and he told Tay, listen.
Like, what you're not gonna do.
Yeah, but don't be the first execution.
I love
because all you gotta do is execute a 5-star and the rest of them get in line.
Well, I love his wording. He said there's no discrimination on playing time. I think were the exact words. That this is a democracy in a sense. If you earn your playing time, you're gonna get it. I thought it was actually funny that everyone thought this was about Al Blades. So then Al Blades tweets, we don't even play the same position. Like, Jesus, now everyone's in a roundabout fashion talking about this. I thought it was a little bit of a mess. Look, and me and you talked about this street a couple days ago. Tay needs to calm down. A lot of things can happen. He's a sprained ankle from being the starter. He's a quality athlete, but he's got to be patient.
Oh man! But let me confuse you now, Kim. Here we go. The guy from Kings County said, "Ask Coach Steele, hey, you talked about playing 3 safeties at the same time. A lot of that happening. Open of the season, we've seen Devontae on the sideline. Are we going to see the 3 safety set?" He said, "You've seen it in both games."
Yeah.
Al Blaze was the 3rd safety.
Right. Well,
and he looked at him like.
Well, okay, but Streeter, they're still going to play the 3 best or most trusted players.
Most trusted, yes.
And that is key. And
right,
the one play I remember from Bethune-Cookman, and I saw it from where I was sitting, Avante Williams had run support, missed a tackle, played one for 25 yards. And I'm not saying we bury a player over that, but there comes a point that, again, we are not on Green Tree. At least I am wondering, is Al Blades really a safety? I think he's better suited at cornerback. But, again, I'm not a coach. I'm just a fan. Avante has a certain twitch that I think is missing from some of our back-end players that I'd like to see out there. But, again, the coaches, they're trying to win here. I really believe that last year under Manny Diaz, this thing would have been handled much differently. And in the big picture, it would have been terrible for the player. Here, I just love the fact Mario brought him back and said, look.
Everybody can text you. You open your phone, you turn it on after the game, and you got 20 texts. Damn, dog, they trying you. Because everybody can reach out and touch you now.
The one thing I'll say is this. This is the only concern. The concern is not about Avante being with the Hurricanes, and it's not about the Hurricane staff. I think the real concern that I saw is the fact that we know and we understand that, especially on defense, because you have to do it this way, that the best 11 kids are always going to play. And going back to Kevin Steele saying I was playing 3 safeties, I think the Hurricane fandom is of the opinion that if you're playing 3 safeties, we got the 3 safeties for you. I mean, we got Cam, we got James, and we got Tay. so it's like we already anointed Tay as one of the 3 safeties that's supposed to be on the field. So I don't know what Mario doing. Maybe we need to conference him in. Maybe he didn't get the memo. He didn't get our depth chart.
Right.
You know, we don't know what was going on, but we know that we didn't see Tay on the field, and we didn't see Gil either. So we kind of like, hey, Mario, what we're going to do is on Thursday evening, we're going to send you our depth chart. So that way we're on the same page.
Yeah. I mean, and think about this. All this talk over Tay and a young man by the name of Brian Balaam, who many people think can play and would start at a lot of other schools. We have not heard a word out of him. You know, and that's the type of guy you need. Look, not everyone is meant to play as a freshman right off the bat. There used to be a time at Miami that you really didn't play till like your 3rd year. Sophomore if you were good. When Miami was really rolling in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, there weren't that many freshmen or even sophomores that started right off the bat. But nowadays, everyone has that 3-and-out plan, and you have that escape route with the transfer portal. It's a totally different game now.
Right. I think this was the answer that I got when I was asked, because I think it's weird that the reporter came up with that question and didn't take Blades in consideration. It was like, well, you see Blades out there. Blades is it is 3 safeties out there, but I think Blades very intelligent kid. I think Blades can be used at different things, and I guess it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like when you picking your women and you're like, hey, man, she got good credit and she looked good in clothes, but she ain't got, and you got to just go with all right, man, we just going to go with the guy we trust. You're going to go with the one that ain't going to steal money out my pants when I fall asleep.
Right.
I'm not going to lie, though.
What's up?
But, Street, the way Blades played that one pass where he wanted to call a fair catch, I was like, oh, God, can you high point the ball and battle a little bit? I mean, it was funny because Mark Herzlich, who was calling the game, the former Boston College linebacker, he did a great job, by the way. I think he's an excellent analyst. He flat out said, you got to go get that ball. And you could see Steele right on the sideline on the broadcast telling Blades, you better fight for that ball. That was not an acceptable effort.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The punt returner.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I think they're just going. Last year, Tay got on the field, and he probably got on the field too early. It's that he got on the field and he could make plays. You know what I'm saying? He's that guy. He's that guy that instinctively plays football. But I know for a fact that he needs a lot of help lining up. You know what I'm saying, on the field. I know this for a fact. He needs a lot of help lining up and understanding the defense. And I think last year, it was Manny last hurrah, and he was just like, hey, man, go make plays. James, Cam, help him. And they made it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I guess Tay is just going to have to grow in the defense and start and understand the defense and gain some trust. Trust is a big thing in college football, bro. But yes, when I asked, the first thing was because the question was like, "Hey, what's up with Tay? Like, why he ain't playing? What he ain't better than Cam?" That was that's how the answer went. Well, he ain't better than Cam. You know what I'm saying? Well, he ain't better than James. So I was like, wow, we thought it was a conspiracy or something, but it's just depth.
If you look at the snap counts from last week, James and Cam, I think, led the defense with 50 snaps each. So it's clear they are very much indispensable. So for those saying that Tay should play, my question would be, okay, over who? Over who?
Right. And this is how a fan's mind work. This is how the fans' mind work, Kim. They start thinking about DJ Ivy. They start thinking about people on the
that's
field.
A different issue. That's a wait a minute. Unless can Tay play press coverage? Okay, unless
for the love of God.
Yeah, hey, Streeter, next time you're out there, put that in the suggestion box that I'm sure Cristobal has. Tay to cornerback. Just slip that in there. See where we are in 2 weeks with that.
He can't, bro. He can't. I've seen it live in person. He can't. He makes plays, dog. And that's what it is. He makes plays. I think I was talking to Hayes the other day, and he was saying that he think that's what the Honey Badger was. Like some of the plays that the Honey Badger makes, he's out of place. Like you ask yourself, like, what is he even doing there?
Right.
But he's a playmaker, and in some people defenses, some coaches, that don't work. They need you to know a little more. They need you.
Guys, isn't this where Ed Reed has to step in as a mentor and put his arms around Tay and say, "Look, this is why you are not playing, and this is how you get on the field." I think that's the value of Ed Reed if he's going to be in that building.
Yeah, he looks up to him. He done said it numerous times.
That's primarily why he committed to Miami.
So no, that's true. That's a good one. I think that happened this week. I think that happened. Like I said, I got a call from Warren Sapp, man. Warren Sapp is in Texas, and he's trying to get on the sideline at the game. And Warren Sapp said he didn't like the answer he got back from Miami. so he had to call the head man Mario, and now he's waiting on the answer. But I'm just trying to understand, like, what would be the difference? Like, why wouldn't he be able to be on the sideline at a away game? He was confused because he's like, listen, man, we all Americans. Him and he's with somebody else. But I think the rule was not at away games, only at home games or something like that. But yeah, I would think Warren Sapp reach out. I mean, it's a goal, no?
I don't care what anyone thinks about Warren. I know there's mixed feelings. He's Warren Sapp. He has a gold jacket. Let him on the sideline. I mean, give me a break.
It has to be a good look, man. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it has to be a good look.
Is that an A&M thing or?
No, it's a Miami thing. It's a Miami thing. It's not an A&M thing. It's a Miami thing, dog. Not at all.
Huh.
That's interesting.
That's interesting because I know Brad Kyle was on the sidelines of A&M a couple of weeks ago, and I know a lot of our fans were upset. But that's because he's close with James Coley, who's on the A&M staff. And Coley coached him here in Miami. So
the confusing part a lot of times is that a lot of times he's there. Okay, I'm on the sideline at Alabama, Texas.
Oh,
how could I not get on the sideline at Miami? And that's how they kind of look at it. And it's like how this is weird. Like why can't I get on the sideline at Miami? Or you know what I'm saying, at an away game. I'm on the sideline of two teams I didn't even play for.
Huh. That is peculiar.
Yeah, right. But it's just, I guess, rules, and sometimes rules have to be thought out a little further. Something has to fail. But this is the cornerback from Texas A&M, man. I guess he said he just put some stuff under hood and he's showing it off in the car garage.
I put supercharge on this bitch.
Well, if you have time to do that, then you should take an extra class.
I just put a supercharger on it. Why would you be in the garage though, dog? And when I saw this video, that's when I thought, Kim and Rich, yeah, it's finna happen. The money is finna be the downfall of a lot of those kids. I just put a supercharger on it. Why would all somebody gotta do is step out in front of him and gone?
Yep.
And he live.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's a lot of open space in College Station.
No.
I had to take a guess. If I had to take a guess, I'm sure it's a lot of open racetracks, drag racing places in College Station.
Chris Young did make a good point. He said you can't get pulled over if you're not on the street.
That is a good point. It's hard to argue that one.
Boy.
Hey, Streeter, how do you think Cristobal would discipline that player if one of our guys did that?
Oh, he's done. Like he probably won't see him the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, one of my team rules would be if I ran a team, if you're gonna do anything stupid, you can't live stream it. See, I'm pretty reasonable like that. I just honestly, if you're gonna do dumb, ill stuff, keep it in the dark. The public does not have to know.
Yeah. Pac-Man said Jerry Jones once put him to the side and said, hey, Pac-Man, you don't have to do everything with your ass out. And Pac-Man said, he looked at him and said, what? Everybody doesn't have to see everything you do. That had to be really creepy coming from Jerry Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's true. It's true. I'm gonna go live with the stupidness.
Yeah.
Dog. It's kids being kids. I get it, man. I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah, but this type of stuff doesn't go away because even 3 to 4 years from now, when that young man is, at the combine, they're gonna ask him about this moment.
Yes, they are.
He said, DJ said he responded on IG. I'm 18. You know when you're not 18. You know you're not 18 when they book your ass in for murder. You're no longer 18. Yeah, you're not. You gotta be smarter than this, dog. Somebody can just walk out at any time, unless he's in some car garage where he know everybody's dead. I don't know. I don't know. It's scary.
It looked like he flew by some people anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, like some people was actually in there in the car. He swerved. I'm 18. Yeah, I get it, bro. I was 18 too. Somebody said kids are kids. Yeah, until you're standing in court with them and they try them as an adult. Right. They are kids
But that automatically assumes you have low standards for kids. See, I think that's a bit of a cop-out. Because I think many kids actually wouldn't do this.
No.
It's true.
You show me the standards you have for somebody, and that's what you think of them. I'll just leave it at that.
Ooh, say that again. Say that again.
Show me the standards that you have for somebody, and that's what you think of them.
That's deep. So basically, if you act an ass and you know you represent Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher, you're gonna act the ass because you don't have much respect for them.
Right. Or if you say, oh, just kids are being kids, and I'm like, yeah, but not everyone is.
Right.
You know?
Right. There's other kids. I bet you if you read the comments, there's other kids in the comments saying, dog, chill. I bet you. Like, dog, chill. What's going on, dog? What you doing? Chill. So, Kim, last night we were talking, bro, and we were saying that I want to know what you think about this. I was saying that TVD can't go. He can't go.
Before you go there, I wanna say this real quick because I shout out to Kyle. Kyle, I gotta read this comment. He said Trey D said the root of all evil is no longer the pursuit of money, it's the pursuit of attention.
Ooh, truth.
Trey D said that.
That is very profound.
And we see it all over IG, all over social media. People will make 100-year decision just to get a like.
Anybody down to go viral, I'm here to tell you, it's overrated. Just tell you, I've been to the mountaintop. I've been to the mountaintop numerous times. It's overrated. So if that's it, yeah. So Kim, what I was saying is that Saturday night, TVD has to have a stand-up 4 quarters. He can't miss. He can't go missing halfway in the third. He can't be in the car, stuck in the Uber for the first quarter. TVD has to play well, bro, that whole game. If we're stamping him Heisman Trophy hopeful and all of this stuff, he can't go. He has to be present for 4 quarters Saturday night for me. He has to be.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you think about that?
We need the TVD that we saw at Pitt against NC State. We need that version of it. You know, I reviewed that game on Saturday. I think I was a little harsh on him because some of the times where he threw the ball and it was tipped or deflected or almost intercepted, 2 of those times it was a free play. So basically on a free play, you take a risk. You're actually coached to do that. Chuck it deep.
Right.
But I did see too many times, guys, when he threw the ball, it looked like he was hitching. He did not look sure of himself, and he seemed to hesitate on a lot of these intermediate throws. In fact, that crossing route or the deep cross that got intercepted, he was a half a beat or a beat and a half late. That ball has to be thrown on the cut. He threw it too late. It got picked off on 4th down. But here's the thing. On the Caneville Twitter account, I saw the 2-game stats, the combined stats for TVD. If that was for any other quarterback, you'd be like, wow, that guy's having a really good year. So the standard is really high. And again, show me the standards you have for somebody, and that's what you really think of them. But I think this is the game, and I know that Coach Hayes says it, and I'm starting to come completely on his side. We need to just run the playbook. Stop saving stuff. This is not like the layaway plan. Forget it. Run your damn offense. This is the first year of the offense. Let's run it. We got to develop an outside receiver that's going to complement X. I'm glad that Rashard got some touches in the slot. I'm very happy that Keyshawn got some targets out there outside. But if there's ever a game that really where we say, hey, the preseason's over, let's run the TVD-friendly offense, which means 3, 4, 5 wide, and we're going to throw on early downs, and we're going to take shots intermediate and deeper, you're right, Streeter. We've got to have that version of TVD because I guarantee you we will see a better A&M team than we saw about 3 days ago.
I guarantee. Right. I guarantee. So, yeah, man, no more witness protection program. That's what you said, right, Kim?
Yeah, or take the wraps off. Take the ribbons and the wraps off. Let it go. And there's another thing. We didn't use our tight ends a lot. You know, Elijah Arroyo, to me, is our best tight end. He's our best all-around tight end. He only got targeted 1 time for 5 yards. I'm thinking, are we saving something? But here's where Miami fans have PTSD. We've heard about saving something for about 15 years now. We have to be honest about that. I heard that under Rick so many times, and we were stuck with that Atari 2600 offense for 3 years. And I'm thinking, this is it? So, look, TVD, this is where he can make a run here and begin his Heisman campaign because you have to be good on the road. And he's won some big games on the road. He has experience. I don't know how much of the App State game you guys watched, but App State, that was not fluky, guys. They clearly outplayed A&M, though. They had 42 minutes of combined time of possession. They ran 82 plays to A&M's 38.
Wow.
They're a very beatable team, guys, no matter where this game is played.
Wow. 82. What was the number, that last number you just said, bro?
82 to 38 in terms of plays at the line of scrimmage.
Josh Gaddis was talking about controlling the ball yesterday and how does that work.
Either
way, you have to be having success, right? You can't just be standing next to the referee saying, hey, man, we're going to snap it every time we get down to 0. You got to get first downs in order to hold the ball, right?
No, you do.
Exactly.
But Streeter, Rich, this is the difference, though. In this particular game, we knew we were going to beat the first two teams. We really did. I mean, from the time the game was scheduled, that's a W. This is a game where you got to run the ball well enough to set up play action over the top. That's the difference. In this game, if we think we're just going to jam it down their throat every single time, even App State with a very limited quarterback in Chase Bryce that we've seen at two different schools, literally, we saw him at Duke and we saw him last year against App State. They were very good at setting up shot plays down the field. They didn't hit all of them, but they were well-timed and well-designed. And I'd like to think we have better athletes than App State, although I actually was pretty impressed by some of the guys that they had. But there's going to come some games where it's just not about the power run game and we're going to be 60-40 run. There's going to be games we're going to have to actually throw the ball 30 to 35 times and get chunk explosive plays downfield.
Right. And I definitely want to see those explosive plays happen versus Texas A&M. Because I don't want it to be a 14-17 game. If we can beat them by 21, let's beat them by 21. If we can beat them by 35, let's beat them by 35.
Kyle, let's say we get up to a great start like we did against Pitt last year. I think we were up 21-7. At first quarter, we just exploded, right?
Right.
If we can get a similar lead on A&M and you take A-Chain out of the game as a rusher, and it's like, okay, Haynes King, drop back 40 times and win. Oh, God, that's like winning the lottery.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So
like
after the first half, if it's 28 or 35 to 14, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sean Rounds with the 1999, man. Sean Rounds has been God-given. Sean Rounds, check your DM in the group me, Sean Rounds. Shout out to Sean Rounds with the 1999. He don't even say nothing. He just give money, Kim. 52 Big said the street of weed. He's like John Ruiz. John Ruiz say a lot though.
You're right.
Listen, bro. John Ruiz do not sleep, bro. Period. He doesn't sleep. I don't know what he's on. Red Bull, no dose, crack. I don't know. He doesn't sleep, dog. You could text him any time of night. They can say something disrespectful to him on Twitter at any time of night and he'll respond. It is amazing, dog. He doesn't sleep.
He's
always promoting something too.
Yeah, well, he's good at that, and sometimes it's himself.
Right.
We're supposed to interview him, bro, before they get on the plane Saturday. It's going to be a tight fit for us because we're trying to make it to College Station. We're trying to put some things together. We finally got credentialed 4 days out. But we're supposed to interview him that morning. They leave at like 10. He gave away a bunch of tickets. I think he did a raffle or something.
Yeah, he's got that private jet going to College Station, right?
He has a bunch of tickets he gave away or raffled off. So we're supposed to talk to him Saturday morning, then get our shit together and maybe try to make it down to College Station. So shout out to Sean Rounds, man. Shout out to Sean Rounds. DJ Medi said something that was funny a while back. DJ Medi said the guy riding around in the parking lot is proof that it ain't shit to do in College Station. Now, here's the funny thing. So we're talking about TVD having to stand up last night. Here's the 305 sports guys take X tweet and put it on a video. TVD might have an NC State type game this weekend. Just how I feel. They took X tweet and put it on. put it on and tweeted it out, and he put it in our group. Because X was trying to say that TVD already had signature games against NC State and Pitt, and we was like, no, you can't have a signature game against Rice and Wyoming. We need him on national TV to be TVD that we think he is.
Right. This is up until this point, this is the biggest game. This is the biggest game.
Yes.
What? Who else? What other big games he played in?
I mean, I guess Florida State, because it's a rivalry game, and quite frankly, he was really bad for about 2.5 quarters.
Right.
That particular game. But look, last year, what I recall, most of his games were 3:30 start times Eastern. There weren't a lot of primetime games. Now, the NC State, I think, started at 7:30, but that was not the national ABC game or the big ESPN game. There's a difference. There's tiers. You could play at night, but not really be on prime time. I actually am not happy that A&M lost. I was hoping in the middle of the third quarter, guys, I'm watching that game and I'm thinking, oh, geez, I hope they find a way to win this, because I think certain games become tougher when that team loses the week before, because you're going to get a more focused team the following week.
I agree.
Yeah, and we got to be up for it. Last big game on the road Miami stood up for. Anybody? Not a rivalry game.
Pitt last year.
Yeah, Pitt won the ACC.
You considering that big?
I mean, unless you want to go all the way back. I mean, we beat Virginia Tech in 2005 with Marcus Vick. Remember? Both teams were in the top 5, I believe. That's 17 years ago, guys.
Wow. We got to go way back.
Hey, you wanted a big road victory. I don't know how many. 2009 opening night, Labor Day weekend, Ja'Cory Harris to the rescue. We beat Florida State.
Okay, well, damn, but not a rivalry game. Not a rivalry game.
Yeah, okay.
At the bowl game with Mark Richt, West Virginia?
Was that really a big game?
No. What about Notre Dame? Notre Dame, Miami.
But that was at home. We're talking road,
at home.
though.
Yeah, that was at home.
We're talking, look, I was at Oklahoma, Randy Shannon's second game. We got beat 55-13. And I was like, wow, that looked like an NFL team, because Oklahoma had all sorts of NFL guys like Trent Williams, Sam Bradford. And I remember Malcolm Kelly, the receiver, had three touchdowns. We lost like 55-13. I was in the big house 2010, the Terrell Pryor year. We got blown out late in that game. I don't recall us being road warriors like we once have been for 15 years now that I think about it. I was at Notre Dame in 2016. Should have won that game. Couldn't make a defensive stop late. It's been a while.
There was the Ohio State game where Lamar Miller and Travis Benjamin had great games.
Right, that was 2010. That was 2010.
2010. Wow.
And they each had a kick or a punt return for a touchdown.
Right. God, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah, it was 2010. It was our second game of the year. I went to that game, and what I recall was it was 26-14 Ohio State. Damian Berry took a run for like 45, 50 yards inside the 5, and I'm thinking, oh, if we score here, we have a great shot at winning, because all the pressure's on Ohio State. On 3rd and goal, Ohio State ran like a zone blitz, and Ja'Cory Harris threw a perfect pass to Cam Hayward. And a defensive lineman, he caught the ball at the goal line, guys, the interception. He somehow ran 80 yards. Mm-hmm. And I said to my friend, I hate to say, I said, all right, Ja'Cory Harris, I wouldn't even let him back on the plane, because I thought I was done with them. I'm not going to lie to you.
That was his what? Second year?
Second year, yeah.
We ended up pulling that game out, if I remember.
We beat them in Al Golden's second game the next year at home.
Okay.
And you know what?
Ohio State?
Ohio State was Al Golden's first win. I remember I was at a boxing match watching the game on my computer, and Lamar Miller had a good game, and Ja'Cory Harris actually came back from a suspension. And you're right, Streeter. Ja'Cory, I was wrong. 2010 was Ja'Cory's junior year because 2008, him and Robert Marv split time. 2009, he had a good year. And then it was 10 and 11. Finished out his career at Miami.
We beat Ohio State 24-6. Did they suck or something?
They were terrible. Remember, Jim Tressel got fired because guys got free tattoos, which was terrible, right? That was pre-NIL. And Terrell Pryor had to leave school. They had this terrible quarterback.
Whoa.
And the coach for 1 year is the guy that's at Cincinnati now. Remember, they made him take the job in like 2 weeks' notice because they couldn't get a new coach.
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this? Ja'Cory Harris was 16 for 23, 123 yards. Braxton Miller was 2 for 4, 22 yards.
Yeah, they had another quarterback named
We won
Bowser.
that game.
Right, and their starting quarterback was
Yeah,
Bowser.
we won that game.
Yeah, well, Streeter, Braxton came in, but their starting quarterback, I think his last name was Bowserman. He was terrible.
Oh, yeah, what? Okay, you're right. Bowserman was 2 for 14 for 13 yards.
Oh,
wow. That's Kirby Freeman.
That was a game?
That
was a
Kirby
whole
Freeman.
game?
That is Kirby Freeman.
The reason I read Braxton Miller's number is because they had him as the lead quarterback, the quarterback that had the better stats.
Yeah. So that's the game where Allen Hurns had a couple of touchdowns. Lamar Miller had a nice game. The other big win we had in that era, and it was not a road game. I remember we beat Oklahoma in 2009 in a primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
I remember that game.
Ja'Cory Harris threw a deep pass, a post to Benjamin. Javaris James actually had 100 yards. And we were in our 4-minute offense, and we needed 2 first downs. Javaris got one, and then on third down, it was Dedrick Epps. Really nice design play by Mark Whipple. And I remember thinking, wow, we're back. We're back. Randy Shannon's got, and it didn't happen.
Ray flipped the running back, right? What was the running back name?
Murray.
The
real good guy. That had
the
Cowboys.
Listen, that night versus Ohio State, bro, Lamar Miller was 26 for 184 yards.
Lamar is underrated. He may be one of our top 10 running backs. That's how good we've been at running back, guys.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. He averaged 7 yards that game. He had a long of 54.
He had that rare combination of size and speed. He was it was reported that he was, I don't know what he ran in the combine, but it was reported that he was a sub 4.4 guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was fast and he had the size as well. So
he was
on a better team,
back.
he gets drafted higher.
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde was on that Ohio State team, and Jamal Berry. Remember Jamal Berry from Palmetto?
Yeah.
Ja'Cory didn't pass the ball well. I mean, Allen Hurns was had 6 receptions, 54 yards, and Tommy Streeter
remember,
had 2.
Streeter, that first game, that was Al Golden's first year. We had half our team suspended, like Olivier Vernon, Marcus Fortson. And that first game against Maryland on Labor Day night, remember, Stephen Morris started because Ja'Cory was part of that suspension. And then starting from the second game, Ja'Cory took over. In fact, our offensive coordinator that season is a guy that I really like, Jed Fish. I thought Jed was a very clever designer of plays, and he's at Arizona now trying to rebuild them. But he did a pretty good job with Ja'Cory that last year.
I agree.
Ja'Cory liked him too.
Yeah. He liked him more than a Whipple. I know. I saw that interview.
Yeah, Ja'Cory said he led him. Yeah, basically, Jeff Fish did a damn good job with Ja'Cory Harris. And that was kind of proof. That it's coaching. Sometimes the coaches hold kids back, and sometimes they help them.
Right. If Stephen Morris would have had Jed Fish his senior year, I think he gets drafted higher. Because I still remember Jed Fish going to the Jaguars. I was in New York for a Gennady Golovkin fight, and I check on my phone. And it says Jed Fish taking a job with the Jaguars. And that's when we brought in James Coley from Florida State. They like James, and I actually like Coach Coley personally myself, but remember, he was supposed to be this monster recruiter in Dade County. That's one of the reasons why he got the job here.
Mm-hmm. He DM'd me about 4 months ago. It was like, hey, man, I didn't know you went to New Orleans. Very random.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to New Orleans. Random as hell. You went to Miami High, right, Coley? Yeah. What's going on, bro? I thought you was coming out here. Coach Sideline, Jimbo made me the offensive coordinator. I said, you're the offensive coordinator? He said, well, I'm like the assistant.
Yeah. He's a very personable guy. If you talk to the Kayas, it wasn't even really Al Golden that was the main reason why Brad came to Miami. It was really James Coley.
Really?
Yes, he's a very, very good recruiter. He does very well with the kids. And I was hoping he'd stay on Rick's staff, and I was hoping he'd come back because anyone that ever meets James Coley comes away with a really good feeling. He's a good guy. I'm a big fan of his, personally.
He's the reason we got Yerby, too. Yerby and Almost Cook.
Gus Edwards. Mm-hmm. Don't forget Gus the Bus making some NFL money still.
Goddamn Gus. That is an enigma there that Gus had to actually leave and go to Rutgers, right?
Go to Rutgers, yeah. And he had over 1,000 yards the year he went to Rutgers. And he just couldn't get on the field here for whatever reason. One guy, Jaquan Thigpen, says, think about if Mario had that talent, like Lamar Miller, Ja'Cory, all the guys we had on that team versus Ohio State.
Right. Speaking of talent, anybody looked at the N'Kosi Perry numbers lately?
We analyzed them yesterday, man. I'm happy for him.
Because he played against House of the Blind and Sisters of the Poor, but he on fire, dog.
I'm telling you, I'm happy for him.
You know what, though? In all fairness, the Kosi in Miami, that Mark Richt offense was a quarterback killer. That was the wrong offense. He's a kid that if we would have had in a modern day up-tempo spread offense, he could have been good from the get-go. Right. Or better than he was. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
Because he was not really he's athletic, but he's not a runner. And I think in Mark Richt's offense, if your first couple of reads are not there, you got to tuck it and run. And he's not a runner. And I think that kind of played into a lot of the, him being hesitant and stuff like that. But he always had a pretty good arm. He was always slightly decent in terms of accuracy. So I'm glad to see that he's with Willie Taggart and he's tearing it up over at FAU.
Yeah, and he was never meant to be under center. I still remember the game where it all fell apart for Rick was the Virginia game at night, kind of mid-October 2018. I think it was a year after we beat Florida State, made that great comeback. And Kosi and that whole offense, I think N'Kosi threw 3 interceptions in the first quarter and a half, and we were flipping back, and I'm thinking, good Lord. And Kosi's grown up a lot. Let's just put it that way. I'm happy for him. And by the way, his last game at Miami he almost brought us back against Oklahoma State in the bowl game when King got hurt. He had a hell of a second half in that game. Went on a high.
Right. He is with Willie Taggart, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Gulf Coast offense.
Shout out to Paycheck Willie.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Man, he's got more stimuluses than the American government. He's getting paid from several different places.
Bro, listen, that Carson Haggard's dad owns the street out in front of Doak Campbell Stadium. It's called Haggard, Michael Haggard, and I think his wife named Way. Big donor of Florida State, huge donor of Florida State. That firing Willie Taggart kind of sent them they went broke after that. They kind of went dry with money for numerous reasons. But I remember that Jeff Thomas game at Florida State when Jeff Thomas, when he had the long bomb, he caught. Yeah. And I'm on the sideline and it's almost halftime. And I'm texting Mike and I'm like, Mike, man, I hope they don't fire Taggart, man. You got all these guys on the staff. I know them. I want them to keep their job. Damn, man, I hope they don't fire Taggart, man. And I'm walking. I'm doing my job. I look back at my phone, and he just texts me back. He's gone. Damn. I know.
Well, that can't hold on. If that was 2019. That's the game. It was D. Wiggins with the deep post pattern. That's when we sacked Hornerbrook about 15 times, 10 of them from Gregory Rousseau.
I think Wiggins did it going west, and I think Jeff Thomas did it going. Yeah. Jeff Thomas did it early in the game, maybe two different games.
Yeah, Jeff Thomas caught a skinny post in the first quarter.
And DJ Dallas had the long run, right?
Yeah, on a screen. He had a screen pass.
Yeah.
And then late in the fourth quarter, I think we were up by 7 to 10 points, and Enos dialed it up. It was kind of a play action half roll post to D. Wiggins. D. Wiggins was always good for a touchdown against Florida State off that same type of post action off the play action.
I can't remember. Right. I remember Stanford Samuels looking at the safety like, man, what the? I'm out of here, bro. Like, listen, Stanford Samuels said, listen, B, I got to get out. Stanford said, I got to get out of here before I forget the football my daddy did teach me. I got to get out of here, bro. It's bad. But no, man, he texted me he's going, man. That boy got fired like the next day. I was like, damn, Mike, you ain't tell me he was getting fired today. He was gone.
Somebody in the chat says Taggart had a hell of an agent. Lamar Jackson is Taggart's agent.
Lamar Jackson, somebody told me Lamar Jackson knows what he's doing.
He's his own agent, though, isn't he? He represents himself.
They say he walks in there and does it himself. But I heard he's insured. And if he make it out of here alive, boy, it's gonna be a check waiting for him from Miami at the end of that tunnel.
I'm telling you, $500 million.
He comes to Miami this week, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most interesting game on the schedule, in my view.
Yeah. All right, man. Listen, man, we're gonna get up out of here, bro. We're an hour and a half, man. You're getting that much closer to game time. The game is a 9 o'clock start over there, right? Or here? It's a 9 o'clock start.
Yeah, and I'll be ringside at the Golovkin-Canelo fight, but I'll have my ESPN app. So I'll be watching some of the game during the fight.
This is their second fight or their third fight?
Third fight, the final chapter.
So Golovkin won the second one?
No, the first fight was a draw, but everyone thought Golovkin won it pretty clean, pretty clear. The second fight was close, could have gone either way. They gave that to Canelo.
Okay,
and now Golovkin gets his third one here. So when I go to I'm going to actually go to Vegas tomorrow. I'm going to ask the promoter, hey, look, if the main event is backed up till about 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m. Pacific time, I wouldn't mind it. So I doubt they're going to accommodate me, but regardless, let's go Canes.
Kim, were you at that fight when Pacquiao wouldn't come out? He wouldn't come out, and eventually came out and lost?
You mean which fight?
And they say he was watching the playoff game or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was at a lot of Pacquiao. I knew Manny, and I covered a lot of Manny. I was actually kind of close with him for a while before he became this world megastar. That was in 2012. He was fighting Tim Bradley the first time. Tim Bradley's a great guy. I love Tim, one of my favorite guys. And so what happened was that was Game 7 of the LeBron James second year with the Heat, where he went to Game 7 with the Celtics. And he loves basketball, Manny. So we're all at ringside, and they had told us a couple days before the fight, hey, guys, we're going to make this very clear. We have to sell pay-per-views, so it doesn't even matter about Manny. We're going to wait for this doggone game to end before we go to the main event. So that's what really happened, because they had to sell some pay-per-views. And that fight, most people thought Pacquiao won that fight. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that was weird that they didn't put it on Tim. They put it on Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He comes out there and loses the fight.
Yeah, although most people thought that was a robbery. But yeah, the bottom line is, in a pay-per-view setting, sometimes they are going to wait till everything else is over to let the main event start, because they want to sell units.
What you think about Tank Davis, Kim?
Powerful fighter. That name is correct, Tank. And I've always thought that he would knock out Ryan Garcia flat. I've called that fight Tiananmen Square because I think he runs him over. But I don't know if they're ever going to make it. I think a lot of these guys they talk a lot. They try to do things over social media. But I like Tank. He kind of has a Mike Tyson type of feel to him because you know eventually someone's going to get hurt, someone's going to get knocked out. He's an exciting little fighter.
You never saw Mike Tyson in live, did you?
No, I didn't.
Right.
You have to understand, during his heyday, I was a very young man, but man, it was big. Every time Tyson fought, it was like a thing. I went to an all-Mexican high school, so obviously they love boxing, but when Mike Tyson fought, I'm not saying it was as popular as Julio Cesar or Chavez, but man, when he fought, everyone the next day at school talked about it. That's how big he was.
Mm-hmm. It was huge. I remember. I just was wondering how far back as a boxing aficionado do you go back? Because you told me how you became
I
one.
was a kid in the 80s when it was still on CBS, NBC, and ABC. And as it relates to Mike, guys, people forget this guy had a Diet Pepsi commercial with Robin Givens. He had a Kodak endorsement. He had his own video game, which everyone knows. I mean, this guy was like, I don't want to say like Michael Jordan, because Jordan had his own brand and he had other endorsements. But if you actually Google like Mike Tyson endorsement deals of the 1980s, this guy was one of the top 3 endorsement athletes of that era. That's how popular he really was from, like, let's say 1987 to about 1995.
Like
Bo Jackson. Picture of him.
Yes.
We had a picture of him in my third grade teacher had a picture of him like in the window when you walk in the room. You saw Mike Tyson with all the belts. We didn't know before he actually started talking, and we always able to be afraid of him.
I remember when he lost to Buster Douglas, February 10th, 1990. It was my senior year at high school. That's the game that a lot of boxing fans call the JFK assassination fight, because you remember where you were. I mean, it was stunning. And that fight took place in Tokyo at the Tokyo Dome. And
who did they blame? Go ahead.
I was stunned watching it, going, "Oh my God, Godzilla is getting killed here." Like, it was just stunning to see someone just hit this guy over and over again. And then when he knocks him down, it's almost like you saw it in slow motion. And then when they counted him out, I mean, we went to a party afterwards, and I'm not going to lie to you, the next 4 or 5 days at school, that's all we talked about was the Mike Tyson loss to Buster Douglas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they blame Miami. He was down there hanging in Miami with convertible vert. Y'all remember that?
Yeah. And then in Japan, he had a lot of fun with the geisha girls and other stuff. And there was footage of him getting knocked down by Greg Page, a sparring partner. There's a lot of stories behind it. If you ever watched the 30 for 30 on Buster Douglas, it's on ESPN Plus. You should watch that. They did a good job on that fight.
Yeah. Mike Tyson sitting down with the pivot. They don't do a great job asking questions, but Mike was very candid and very comfortable. And he talked about how he would walk in the foreign car dealership, and ask the lady how much the car, $400,000, and then he'll be like, "How much for you and the car? Spend a night. Take the girl home, spend a night with her, and then give her the car, Kim."
Yeah.
Man, talk about some accessories. That doesn't come with the sticker price.
Spend a night with her, then give her the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How to go broke. There it is. I'm only 18. That's how we do it. That's how we do it, dog. Listen, man, let's get out of here, man. I appreciate y'all dudes, man. All right?
All right, fellas. Talk to you guys later. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
All right, Rich, man. I'm going to hit you up. Listen, man, 786-405-9499. And give her the car. Pay for the $200,000 car. Take her home, spend a night with her, and then let her leave with the car. All right, I'm going to snap out of it. Listen, bro, if you want to get down with IOD Squad, I didn't put the link in there. Just text us, 786-405-9499. Shout out to Sean Round with the 1999. See y'all boys in the Football Villain Group Me. If you want to know how to get in the Football Villain Group Me, it's in the description down there. And also, you could just hit join next to the subscribe button, or hit like. All of that stuff is free. Like, subscribe, alert bell. Everybody hit that. All that's free. Now, if you want to be a football villain, hit join, and you get access to the Group Me, all the information we got in there. Some private lives that we do with just the Group Me. And eventually we may start doing it to where only the football villains can come in. We may get it to that. I'm sure they'll love that. It's so many of them in here now with the badges. I mean, so many of them in here. So, all right, man, listen, we're going to get up out of here, man. Don't put off tomorrow something you could do today. The rest of your life will be seconds away. I'm D and I'm out of here.